Nobody can stop a moving train. We saw how Macron hurriedly called Tinubu, who is the chairman of ECOWAS, to come down because, as it were, West Africa is about to scatter. We can see that Biafra is at the brink of declaring their restoration, and also we can see what's going on in Mali, Burkina Faso. Quickly, you know, the Western allies, they don't want the West Africa, most especially the light of West Africa, to be found. They are all against the emancipation of the black Jewish state. What's your reaction?
Is the Prince of Africa. I mean, Biafra. Biafra is the most popular, you know, country now in her infant age or stage, and the West are running helter-skelter. They don't want what Russia is doing because Russia is actually supporting all these, you know, countries that are trying to wake up, actually discover themselves that our problem still remains our former colonies: the French, the Belgian, the Spanish, the Portuguese, and the British. So that's why he invited Tinubu, and Tinubu is playing his good roles of errand boyism. He just went there, become their slave as usual, because as far as I'm concerned, Macron is talking to his boy.
His stooge.
The same people they use as stooge, the people they use as puppets. The British, the French, they always leverage on using all the African countries as slaves against their citizens. See, let me tell you, the French is not happy with Mali, Burkina Faso, Gabon, and even Niger. The British colony is not happy. The British masters, let me use the word, they are not happy with Kenya. What actually transpired in Kenya recently exposed British, you know, diminishing qualities, you know, against their former colonies in Africa. Because Kenya spoke English, they were colonized by Britain. You discovered recently how political mayhem all of a sudden erupted in Kenya, across Kenya. They actually nearly annihilated Ruto, the Kenyan president. It's because of what the so-called British colonialists are doing at the back door, fronting the wrong person, the wrong market to Kenyan citizens. See, the visit of Tinubu, Mr. President of their Nigeria, to the French Prime Minister. If you ask me, I will tell you that if I could be one of the lawmakers, we will subject him to an impeachment. There will be an impeachment debate tonight, because I don't see the reason why you will be visiting countries that are far, far, far better than the whole Africa countries if join their economies together. What are you looking there? Why are you wooing French investors? In the sense that France, Paris, is not better than Nigeria 1 million times. In the sense that Paris, Leeds, Marseilles is not far, far better than all the African countries. I'm just naming some important provinces or states in France. They are all doing well than all the African countries. And we are still going there, wooing the investors, promising them all manners of juicy, you know, resources. In Nigeria here, it is wrong. You are destabilizing the Nigerian economy the more. You are disrespecting yourself, even the African continent the more, by running to all these British, the French, that cause our current problem today. See, let me tell you, Biafra should be counted out of it. Why? We can never ever fall, you know, a victim again anymore to anybody. Britain is not left out. I know actually that the referendum that is coming in Finland very soon, Britain has been wagging mouth, walking down the clock to stop it. But seeing that America is playing another role, that's why Britain is now in shame. Because the whole world is asking the Britain, why could you allow your citizen disrespected, incarcerated for how many months now? Almost 48 months without asking Nigeria why, without playing any serious diplomatic roles.
Because they are saboteurs, don't forget.
To make sure that Nnamdi Kanu is not going through what he's passing through today. They are not only saboteurs, these are the supremacists, these are the colonialists, these are the imperialists. They use their language on you. They even invited what I call their religion. Everybody believes now that it's Britain that brought Christianity. It's a lie. If they could see way to invite their religion, which of course I tell you people that the religion of Britain is where witches and wizards are carved out for. They are into spiritism. Spiritism. See, in those days, if you're a witch, they discover you're a magician in the UK. During the dark ages, they will cut your head and they execute you. They believe in spiritism. But Christianity, now everybody rumor, blah, blah, blah. Lie. The Jews from that axis brought Christianity here and defeated most of the strong tribes in Africa like Igbo using the Bible. So what I'm trying to say is that Tinubu's win French, investors with all manners of, resources, natural endowments, mineral resources that belong to Nigeria is too fallible. I think in this stage of our life now, Tinubu should have known that what is very, very paramount in Nigeria is food.
Before I go to
to conquer food is much, much essential than any other visitation to Western Europe, to the Western world. We don't need it.
Okay, before I go to my next question, let me quickly give you a rundown. Shortly before Tinubu was called upon by his master, of course, Macron,
his colonial master.
Yes, the ECOWAS has denied some special people who had left that bloc. They have said that the Alliance of Sahel will not have access to enter the neighboring ECOWAS countries. We've seen how the current president and what's it called?
Ghanaian.
The Ghana president, how he has tried to visit Senegal to go and meet all these guys, but they've all said, no way, we are not coming back. And then immediately they had to call the chairman. And Macron has given him a mandate. Allegedly, Oga, we will give you some funds. We know you need money. But that ECOWAS, you must retrieve, and everybody must remain. The status quo must remain. That means Biafra goes nowhere. Alliance of Burkina Faso, Mali, they go nowhere. We need the resources. Don't forget during the Biafra war.
I know.
Don't forget
France supported Nigeria.
Yes, and don't forget how Gowon donated the Biafra resources in exchange for Gowon.
For Gowon, yes. From Cameroon axis. My reaction is, let me tell you, they are preparing for war again. Because the Francophones I know, they have begun to wake up from their slumbers of the years of African independence, regaining game. The African independence regaining game of era was 1960s. Why? Egypt, I think 1952 or 56. Ghana 1957. After Ghana, Nigeria 60. Then later we have 80, 81. Then we have 89. That's Southern Africa and Namibia independence. Are you listening to me? So what I'm trying to say is that the war has started. The Burkina Faso and Mali I see, they are doing well, especially Burkina Faso. The sun has begun to, come forth from Burkina Faso right now. Is a sunrise, let me say, rising of another side of independence era, when Africans were telling the British, their colonial masters, that you can no longer stay here, we don't need you. We have actually understood whom you are. You are what? Ex-convicts. You are all bandits. You've come here to at least steal all our mineral resources, use it, refine it in Europe, begin to use it for yourself, and there's none on our land. All this began the kind of question that Nnamdi Azikiwe, Awolowo, Nahoro, the Kwame Nkrumahs, the Leopold Senghor, the Julius Nyerere began to ask themselves that time. Yeah, that was when the agitation for independence against the colonialists began, and it is going to be revived. If France, what France is doing now, ticking up, you will see another war of West African independence. Then again, let me tell you about the Prince of Africa, Biafra, the problem of Biafra. We are not in West Africa. No. We are not in West Africa. We are with the Eastern Africa. Eastern Africa countries are with us. Gabon, Cameroon, and so on and so forth. We are
Central
not in West and Central. They are with us. We are not in the West.
And by the way, someone sent you a message from Gabon. It says this is with you, that they are supporting the Biafran cause.
Okay, he said it on your handle.
Yeah. He said he sends his greetings to you.
Yeah, so thank you so much for what you are doing. Every boss are behind you, especially women. I could understand that woman that was talking to you, I think 2-3 days ago, telling you when you were tweeting live that she actually felt, sick. In fact, high BP. We thank God that you are back. You bounce back. Then what filtered the air today? The whole air of what internet space is Simon Ekpa is going back to prison. His case is going to finish in May 2025. No, now that is actually when the issue we just ended up. Does not mean that Simon Ekpa is going to jail. No, that country, Finland, we know actually that they respect human rights more than any other countries in Europe. So Ekpa is free. Ekpa's case is finished. It's going to finish comes May 2025. For your own understanding and information, Biafra is an eastern state of the African continent. We are not with ECOWAS. If you check it geographically, we are not there. When the war was going on, it was the East that came out en masse. Eastern Africa, the Central Africa, Gabon, yes, Angola. Angola. And again, you see Zambia, that is almost in Southern Africa, they came out en masse. And really? It was, Zanzibar. Tanganyika, they were Tanganyika and Zanzibar that time. They have not been divided like what they are currently known for now. Tanzania and the Zambia. They were then Tanganyika and Zanzibar. They came and fought for us. Very huge men that time. Because African land was what? Economically fertile. But today, they have been what? Drained, sucked dry by our colonial masters that are coming back to neo or recolonize Africa. So, what I see Tinubu Macron alliance, doing right now is neo-colonialism. The French, the British, the Portuguese and the Spanish, they are coming back for neo-colonialization of Africa continent because they are not happy. The place of Africa is going, and all the coastal line of Biafra is an oil, rich environment. So the Western Europe, they are not happy with the memorandum coming very soon in Finland.
Okay, but on a final note, Mr. Raf, the emancipation of Biafra will be a new headache for the colonial masters.
Yes,
because they don't understand that they will no longer have that free access to the resource. On a quick note, how will Biafra defend such?
Okay, we can defend it. We are well fortified,
Because who will be your allies in Africa?
Naturally, we are going to have many allies in Africa, many countries that understand what is going on currently, a situation whereby our former imperialists are still treating us bad. The more, like they are coming back in full force to seize what, they actually believed was theirs in the past. Of course, they have come back to seize it, to possess our land, the mineral resources, everything in Africa again. But let me tell you, somebody is going to stop them. Why? One, military intervention in Niger Republic. Two, military comeback in Mali. Three, military coup staged in Gabon. I don't know whether you are aware. Military coup of Burkina Faso. And Burkina Faso coming out with a vibrant young man who has all it takes to revive Africa. Africa is going to live again. Africa is going to breathe again. Come what may, no matter what the West, the kind of game they are playing, at least to blindfold us into believing in neo-colonialism, they will never ever succeed. Why? Biafra has come, the most resilient tribe in Nigeria are the 87% occupants of that region called Biafra. And we don't give the whites space as we didn't in the past. When we were fighting tooth and nail with Britain for over 60 years, and Britain did not overcome the Igbo man. So it is a game, another game that has started. We are more than headache. to the imperialists.
But don't forget the British have the Fulanis. Just yesterday, I saw a video where an outside lady was crying that the Fulanis
are killing all of them.
I mean, they've actually taken
Finish
all
all
away
of them.
their resources, taking
Yes.
their rights.
He's on net.
And we know how the Fulanis
He's on social
how
media.
they dealt with,
He's on social media. The woman is saying the truth because they killed their forefathers, they killed their great grandfathers. They use sex evangelism.
We also know how the Fulanis are still threatening the Igbos.
Yes,
and the Yorubas.
We are the greatest opponents of the Fulani, not Yoruba. Fulani is coming. Do you know what? They are not up to 20 million. No? Fulani population is not up to 15 million in Nigeria. They are still under 10 million. The last time you CIA rated Nigerian population, I mean the ethnicities in Nigeria, they gave Fulani not up to 10 million.
How did they become so formidable?
Or the Fulani?
Yes.
I'm coming. They gave Hausa at 3 million. I don't understand. Yet Fulani is stronger than 30 people whose population is 33 million. That time, Fulani is stronger. So what I'm trying to say is that their greatest opponents and ally are Igbo and Britain, respectively. Igbo is filling the gap of what? Opposition. The strongest formidable force that can wage the Fulanis from wreaking another havoc on the continent of Africa or anywhere in Igbo land. We are up to the task. The Fulani, they are not up to matches any type to the Igbos. We outnumber them in population. We outsmart them in thinking. We are more creative than the Fulanis, no matter how large their supporters in the Western world are. Because the Fulanis are being used by the Britain. In Nigeria, the Fulanis are being used by the French. In Cameroon, the Fulanis are being used in Burkina Faso by the French. I don't really understand. They all have backup. All the colonialists, they cling on, onto supporting Fulani because they actually know that Fulani man is a man with low mentality. Forget about the fact that some of them went to school, but they still remain the most poorest thinkers we have in Africa. Those ones that are just, let me say, politically much, let me use the word, inclined. They are just they are being lucky. I don't want to understand where I'm going. They are just being lucky. But when you think about stronger tribes in Africa, you count Igbo number 1. Fulanis are destroyers. Fulanis are religious, bigots. Fulanis are, instigators. I'm telling you, if you see what these people did houses from 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 until 18th centuries, they butchered all the Hausa kings using Fulani beautiful women as agents of sex evangelism. I don't understand. Annihilating all these local chiefs and emirs, giving them poison until 1804. The major man of Fulani ideology, his name was Ottoman Danfodio. He struck in 1804, introducing what is called jihad or jihadism. That was what they used as a platform to annihilate the whole Hausa kings and took over the land of northern Nigeria today. When you talk about top political, giants in the northern Nigeria, you are talking about a Fulani man. He's not an Hausa man. We are talking about a good man that is so hardworking. He works in his farm from what? Early in the morning till nightfall. He's an Hausa man. When you talk about an educated, eloquent speaker in the north that is doing well today, sorry, they are the Fulanis. They suppress them, they subject them to all manner of Islamic teachings, convincing them that their local religion is fake, inferior to their own. Then now they use Islam and they impose on them. They bought into it, the Hausas. And today, there's no Hausa. What we have in the north is Fulani. But the language is centralized. Fulani man speaks Hausa more than Hausa man. Fulani man speaks Hausa more than Gwari. They are very intelligent anyway, but they can't outsmart the Igbos. They are destroyers.
And the Igbos remain the nemesis.
We are not any nemesis. We are the greatest opponents. The nemesis that will actually catch up with Fulanis as in retribution, that reward for annihilating the Igbos in millions. It has come. It is this time because they will go to Igbo land using under the platform of Nigerian military clique or soldiers to try what they did and failed 57, 56, 55, 54 years ago. That is where the nemesis is coming on their own side, not Igbo. Igbo remain the greatest opponent of the Fulani.
Thank you very much for that brilliant submission, as usual.